Greetings and salutations. My name is Marcos, and today we're going to be talking about the Game Awards. It's right around the corner, and I thought it would be a fun little exercise to go through each category, give my little predictions on who I think's going to win, what I think's going to be announced there, etc. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, consider engaging with my content, whether that be subscribing to the channel, leaving a like on this video, leaving a comment on this video, sharing. It all is much appreciated. But with all of that housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright, so before we begin, I just wanted to give a little disclaimer. Number one, shout out Geoff Keighley. He's a big proponent of this type of show. He's a huge gamer, big person in the industry at large, and none of this really would happen without him. He's kind of like filling the void of what E3 used to be. Just shows dedicated to announcements like Summer Games Fest. He's the host of Gamescom, I think. And the Game Awards, I feel like, is the biggest stage where video games can be revealed, announced, displayed nowadays, since E3's been dead for a minute. So, number one, shout out Geoff Keighley. Number two, this is an award show. So, there might be things that seem skewed one way or rigged or, like politics behind the scenes, but I'm not really interested in any of that. I just wanted to give that out like a disclaimer that this is an award show, so like, I don't know, let's not like treat it like it's some freaking law, like this is Game of the Year. It might be the Game Awards Game of the Year. However, if you don't agree with certain winners or losers, like, this isn't the end all be all. There's the DICE Awards, there's the Game Developer Conference Awards, you know what I'm saying? There's different stages for this type of thing, so this isn't going to be the end all be all. However, it's probably the biggest stage for video games to be shown to the world, so it kind of matters, but it kind of doesn't at the end of the day. Number three, there is a statue that has been shown, that Geoff Keighley kind of like, not leaked, but he was poking the stick on, like, yo, pay attention to this. He said something he's shown a picture of a statue claimed to be in this desert in California. I forgot what the desert is called. But the caption of that statue said regal, inspiring thickness. Whatever that means, we're going to get to the bottom of it by the end of this video. That was number three. Let's dive into the categories, shall we? Starting with view all categories. Yeah, let's start. All right, so there's a ton of categories. Holy shit, I didn't know there were so many categories. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 categories. I'm not interested in some of these. We'll pass. We'll go through and pick and choose on what I want to really talk about. But yeah, 29 categories. Some of these are stupid, like freaking best mobile game. Then we have the whole indie conversation with the best independent game, best debut indie game, on whether a game is independent because it has publishers supporting it financially. Best family game. There's certain categories like that are in the Game Awards, and certain categories will have winners announced like during freaking commercial breaks. Like, this show is basically advertisement. The category winners, losers, etc., and then announcements, reveals. That's really the appeal of this show. It's going to be like a 3 to 4 hour show with Jeff Keighley. I hope Kojima's there. I hope Joseph Fares is there. I mean, they both will be, because they have games that are with Death Stranding 2 and Split Fiction. So those two people are going to be there. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just go down the list of... let's start counting out of these categories. Best esports team. I don't give a shit about esports. That's mean. I sound mean, but I really don't care. Best esports team, I'm not really interested in. Best esports athlete. That's a funny term of describing somebody who's played games professionally. I am not aware of any of these people. Let's just check. We got Brock. We got Chovy. We got Forsaken. We got Gakaru. We got Ziwu. Yeah, I'm not. Nope. I'm an old man who lives under a rock nowadays, and I'm not hip to the modern landscape of things. Best esports game. I don't give a shit. Actually, maybe I do give a shit. Yeah, Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends. Nope. Valorant. Yeah. These are not my jam. Let's just say that. Don't give a fuck. Nah, that's so mean. I don't know what's into me. Alright. Content Creator of the Year. Kinda don't care, kinda do. Let's see if I know like 2 of these 5 people. We got Caterol. Probably saying that wrong. Never seen him once in my life. Kai Cenat. I don't know why content creation has anything to do with video games, but Kai Cenat, he's gonna be at the Game Awards. I like Kai Cenat, kinda. I don't like him or dislike him. He's there, and I laugh at some of his snippets, but I'm not really viewing his content. Moist Critical, I have enjoyed, kind of like Kai Cenat. I know who Moist Critical is somewhat. I've liked some of his takes on things, but I don't really consume his content. I've been hearing a lot of things about The Burnt Peanut. This looks like a freaking filter from Snapchat. I have no idea. I think he's a streamer. And then I see a hentai AI picture that looks like just what I explained. Sakura Miko. Like I said, I'm an old man living under a rock. I'm not privy to these things. I don't really give a shit about who wins that. Most anticipated game. Let's look at this. All right. So it says recognizing an unannounced game, or pardon me. Let's rewind. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstratively illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. Okay. Those nominees are 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4. I said The Witcher 4 weird. Alright, with all these nominees for the most anticipated game, why am I scratching my neck, my chin like it's not GTA 6? For real. 007 First Light looks kind of cool. You know, you got the James Bond IP behind it. It's got the Hitman developers behind it, but kind of looked a little messy from its gameplay showcase a while back with that like whole car sequence thing. I don't know. I am open to it. I want this to be like a Uncharted / Hitman, like the openness of like how you could beat each mission with Hitman, but also like the scripted nature of Uncharted with the spectacles. And I hope those two games like have a baby, and that's 007 First Light. But I'm not really sure that IO Interactive has those chops to like make a Naughty Dog type of scripted single player game that I'm looking for. So this might not be for me. GTA 6 is gonna change a lot of things. It's gonna be huge, and I think this is what's gonna win. Marvel's Wolverine looks great. Love Insomniac. Looks great. I have no bad things to say about this. It's been a while since they've announced it, but they recently shown it and looks awesome. Out of all these, I am most excited about Marvel's Wolverine. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's gonna win though. Resident Evil Requiem. Another Resident Evil. It's really scary. I'm not into that type of thing. However, people are, and the 9th Resident Evil, it's a huge franchise. I don't think it's gonna win though. GTA 6 got it, and The Witcher 4. I don't think this game is anywhere close to being done, so its inclusion kind of like made me have like the Dwayne The Rock Johnson eyebrow. You know, when he does that little. I was like, why are you including this game? It had like a freaking tech demo type of presentation like a year ago, or was that a year ago? It might have been this year that was shown. So I don't know why this game is put in this list. What about like freaking, I don't know, Half-Life 3? If that's, I mean, that hasn't been announced, so I get that it wouldn't be a part of this category. I'm trying to think of what games. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 4, shit. Yeah, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 4, yeah. I'm not saying that I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, but I feel like that's gonna be a huge game. Or, I mean, yeah, announced games. I'm trying to think about ones that have been announced but are huge that, yeah, man, I mean, now that I think about it, The Witcher 4 is a game that people are looking forward to, but it's a long ways away, so I think GTA 6 better win that, without a doubt. Best adaptation. Let's look at this. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. So we got a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell Deathwatch, The Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. That's what I'm thinking about this whole category. I like the concept of the category. I like the concept of good video game adaptations. However, I don't think that these nominees are given good praise to this. I don't know. I liked the Minecraft movie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's a great movie. I thought it was really fun. I love Jack Black. Freaking, what's his name? That other guy, Jason Momoa. He was amazing in that. This is the only thing I've seen other than, actually, I have seen Until Dawn and The Last of Us Season 2. So this is like probably one of the categories that I have most well versed in, I guess. So that's sad. Devil May Cry. I've never played the Devil May Cry game, so I didn't really get into the anime. I heard that it has mixed feelings. I don't think that's gonna win. Splinter Cell Deathwatch, I didn't know existed until just now, so that shit's down the drain. Until Dawn was weird. It was kind of stupid, but I liked it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't think it was anything that had to do with Until Dawn, though. I don't think that this will win either. I think it's between a Minecraft movie and The Last of Us Season 2. And I think there's 1 or 2 good episodes in that season. I think the other ones are cringy and just not what the games are at all. It's like a really crazy interpretation that I'm not really interested in. However, I did like the first season a lot, and I really wanted to enjoy the second season. And I know there's people out there that do. My mom adores that show. She loves Pedro Pascal and anything that he does, so she was glued to that season, even though that the big thing, you know, I don't know, man. I want it to be Minecraft movie. I have a feeling like it's gonna be Minecraft movie, but I could see The Last of Us Season 2 getting a nod, which would kind of suck because I think that season sucks. However, you know, this is the Game Awards here. There's gonna be like a significant amount of people who are voting for this type of thing that have enjoyed that season. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, stereotyping a certain demographic of people that vote for this type of shit. So let's move on. Best adaptation, I think, is gonna be Minecraft movie. Let's hope. Cross our fingers. Best multiplayer game, though. So we got Arc Raiders. Oh wait, let me read the little blurb before we get into the nominees. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. We got Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. So, right off the bat, from these nominees, this is a very strong category. Arc Raiders, everybody loves Arc Raiders right now. It's the talk of the town. The proximity chat, all the snippets of social media clips of people doing bad things or being cool with each other and, playing that game. Looks cool. Haven't played it yet. I'm intrigued though. Some of my friends are playing it and they make me want to play it, but I have not bite the bullet yet. Battlefield 6 is another game that my friends have been playing that have pushed me to play. They made me play the beta, which was cool. I enjoyed that, but I don't like those games enough. Not when I say those games, I mean like online shooters, competitive type of shit. That's why I haven't really done Arc Raiders, but Battlefield 6 is another one. I've heard a lot of good things though. Elden Ring Night Rain is one that I have played, which is totally out of my wheelhouse. My main man Cole, he loves Souls-likes. He tried to put me on to Elden Ring Night Rain, and he was trying to shepherd me through. We haven't won the first boss, and it kind of like we kept bashing our heads against the walls. Me, him, and like a random, because it was just me, him, and a third person because it was trios at the time, and we couldn't go past the first boss. And a few days later, he told me like, yeah, I just solo beat like the whole game, and I beat every boss solo. And I'm just like, oh, well, there goes that. I know there's a DLC coming out soon, so I might revisit this game when that comes out with him. I know there's duos now. Shout out Elden Ring Night Rain. I had a fun time. This was like my first Souls-like ever, so I was overwhelmed to say the least. That game is really fast-paced too, but I enjoyed the time I had with it. Peak. That game is a very how should I describe it? I mean, it was really popular when it released. It's one of those like friend slop games. I don't know how to describe those, but they're co-op. There's proximity chat. It's cheap. It's on Steam. I think those would be the parameters on friend slop games. I haven't played it. I don't have a PC, but it looks fun. It looks cool. If I had friends that had that type of thing, if I had like a Steam Deck, maybe I would be down to hop on that, but I don't. So let's move on to let's not even tease it. Let's move on to Split Fiction. I loved Split Fiction. Me and my girlfriend played it this year, got it day one. I love Joseph Fares. I love Hazelight Studios. I haven't played every single game that they've made, but I really do want to. I still need to play Brothers and A Way Out, but It Takes Two and Split Fiction are chef's kiss. I love those games to death. I want Split Fiction to get it because that game is, spoiler alert, my game of the year, baby. I love that game to death. However, Gamma, I think Arc Raiders is going to win Best Multiplayer Game. Not just because of recency bias. However, why do I keep saying that? I'm pushing the however narrative too much. I think that Arc Raiders just is a global phenomenon right now. It's selling gangbusters, and I think a lot of people like it. So I think that's what's going to win. Best sports and racing game. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. That's a shitty blurb, but I don't really know how else to explain that, I guess. I like how this is a thing, though. Let's see. So we got EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World, we got Rematch, and we got Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Let's get it out of the way. EA Sports FC 26, something I'm not interested in. It serves a lot of people, though. They love EA Sports FC 26. They love it. The people who do like those games adore them. Not for me, though. I don't think it's going to win. F1 25, a lot of people are into F1. I would not be surprised if this game won. I don't know the merits of if it's good or not, but a lot of people like this shit. Mario Kart World, very divisive game. It's Mario Kart, can't go wrong with it. But the world, the highways and the transitions between tracks, very divisive. However, it is Mario Kart at the end of the day. It's a great game, a lot of bullshit involved. I really liked the introduction of the Royal... Fuck, I forgot the mode. But the mode where it goes from 24 characters to 20 characters to 16. Damn. Messing me up. I like that mode a lot. I like the inclusion of that. The open world type of thing, the open roam zone thing, I didn't really find too entertaining. There's been updates to the game that have improved it, but I'm like middling on that game. I like it a lot, but I also don't like the additions, but I also do. I don't know, man. It's a tough one. Rematch, I really wanted to like. I love Slow Clap, the developers behind that. They made Sifu, totally different type of bag. It looked like Rocket League, but actually soccer. And I played a little bit of it, and I didn't really jive with it. I think the performance and the servers were kind of buggy at launch, so maybe that's improved, hopefully. I could see... Nah, I don't know. I don't really know with this category. I'm gonna be honest. I'm always honest. I'm not gonna lie. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I've heard a lot of good things about this game. My friend Cole, like I was saying before, he brought over his Switch 2 one day and we played it on there and thought it was kind of messy. Not gonna lie. It was really overstimulating me at the moment. I might have been too under the influence of certain things. My TV also sucks. It's like the image is like burnt on the TV, so if you like leave an image on for too long, it's gonna stay in the background for like a bit. That could have been another reason why I didn't enjoy my time with it. However, I've heard that it has been updated for specifically the Switch 2 and it's much better. This game could possibly win. I know there's a lot of cool DLC additions like SpongeBob and freaking Avatar. I know they got Hatsune Miku and freaking Joker from Persona. So shout out this game. I really wanted to like it. I didn't get it though, so I'm a little skewed toward Mario Kart in this category. However, I could see Sonic Racing Cross Worlds winning. I don't really have a definitive prediction, so I'm gonna say Mario Kart World, just to be safe. Mario Kart safe, you know. Next category is best sim/strategy game. I'm not really into these. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. I keep seeing the word irrespective. I'm not really too fond of that word. Anyways, we got Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, which is a remake in quotes, which is kind of weird. Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, never heard of it until just now. The Alters, which looked really cool. It piqued my interest. I never really got into it though. And 2 Point Museum. I'm going to skip this category because I don't feel like I have an worthy opinion on that. I want The Alters to win. Shout out that game. That looked cool, but I never played it. Alright, let's move on to best family game. The best family game is for the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. The nominees are Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction. This is a tough one. I never played Lego Party or Lego Voyagers. Those are Lego games, so I'm sure the accessibility of family of any range of age would be great for that. It sounds like Mario Party but Lego, which seems sick. Donkey Kong Bonanza could be like a safe pick just because it's a great game. I don't know if the family aspect of things have anything to do with who's gonna win this game, or who's gonna win this category, but Mario Kart World is also a good one for families in particular. Same with Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I mean, they're like couch co-op heaven. Split Fiction, I get the best family thing, like they're accessible games and stuff, but I don't want this game to have like pity picks. You know what I'm saying? This game deserves to be in certain categories, and it deserves to win certain categories. And to be honest, I don't think best family game is suitable for that. I'm not saying that it isn't the best family game. I'm just saying that I wasn't really thinking about best family game when thinking about Split Fiction. I'm just going to go with Donkey Kong Bonanza for this. I don't think it should win. I think either one of the Lego games or one of the racers should win. I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to win, though. That's best family game. Best fighting game. Let's see. For the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat, we got 2XKO. We got Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which is a collection of older games, kind of cheating, I guess. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, another collection. And Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage. Weak year for fighters, I guess. Damn. For the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. I mean, I've heard things about 2XKO. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm probably butchering it. Riot Games, that's like freaking, I think that's Smite. Shit like that. So they got money behind it. Probably got a big budget, so maybe that could win. I've never heard of this Fatal Fury game. Never heard of Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. But at the same time, I'm not into fighters. This is like the sim strategy type. I don't have a say. I'm going to move on. Gonna move on to that. Best RPG. Kind of similar boat of fighters and sim strategies. I'm not the biggest RPG guy. Let's just go through the list though. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. And we have Avowed, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2. So for best RPG, I think that 3 of the 5 games that have been picked, excuse me, I think the 3 of the 5 games deserve to be on it. I don't think Avowed deserves this. I mean, it is a RPG that came out this year. Is it the best? I think we're just running out of RPGs to list, so they included Avowed, and I think Monster Hunter Wilds is the other game that doesn't deserve to be on the list. Not because of its merits. I don't know if it's good or not. I'm not a Monster Hunter guy. However, I don't think they're RPGs. I think they're like action fighters, kind of. Multiplayer fighting action. I don't really know how to describe Monster Hunter, but I wouldn't describe it as an RPG. Clair Obscur, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, The Outer Worlds 2. These are RPGs, you know. Leveling up systems. We have, I mean, so does Avowed, but is it good? I didn't like my time with it. I didn't play all of it, granted, but the things that I did play made me question my mortality a little bit, which is sad to say. Some people worked hard on that game. Let's move on. I don't want to be too mean. I think Expedition 33 is going to sweep the Game Awards. Spoiler alert. You're going to hear a lot more of that name, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and that game is going to sweep, in my opinion. I think it's going to win Best RPG. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, close second. The Outer Worlds 2. I don't think much people played that game, but I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, people are going to tip the cap like, hey, this game is deep, very RPG heavy. However, Expedition 33 though, yeah, I think that's gonna win Best RPG. All right, so after Best RPG, we got Best Action / Adventure Game. These genres, yo, like, oh my god. After that, we have the Best Action / Adventure Game. Again, genres, slashing, combining the 2 genres into one category. It's weird. Let's read the nominees for the Best Action / Adventure Game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Okay, so action adventure game are combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Who is making up these blurbs? Who are making up the rules of what dictates what a game is, like a genre? I don't know. Let's go with the nominees. We got Death Stranding 2. We got Ghost of Yotei, Hollow Knight Silksong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Split Fiction. Let's get Death Stranding 2 off the list, and let's get Indiana Jones off this list. I don't think those games should win this particular category. I think Death Stranding 2 has a chance. I'm not saying it's going to. I think it's either between Ghost of Yotei, Silksong, or Split Fiction. Split Fiction. I want Split Fiction to win. I think Silksong is gonna win, just because of like how renowned that game was, and I don't think it's gonna win Game of the Year. Spoiler alert. I don't think it's gonna win Game of the Year. So I think any other category that Silksong is included in, I think people are gonna want to show it some love. Maybe Ghost of Yotei could win. Maybe Split Fiction I want it to win, but I think Silksong will win that one. And then we get Best Action Game, Best Action Adventure Game, and then Best Action Game. Do better Game Awards. What is this? These games are for the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. Okay, the blurb, I understand now. If it's focused primarily on combat, we have Battlefield 6. I don't really look at first-person shooter. I guess it is combat. Fuck, I'm stupid. Damn it. Because then the next nominee is Dome: The Dark Ages, which is a first-person shooter, and I do think of that as combat. So, I'm gonna make a funny edit of that. The next nominee, Hades 2. Yeah. I love Supergiant Games. Never got into Hades 2 though. I got it for the Switch 2. I played it for like an hour. I was like, oh, this is more Hades. This is a lot more Hades. I like that a lot. However, I have things to do, so I didn't really get into it. I got into the first one, Hades, which was sick. Love that game a lot. So anything that Supergiant has to offer, I'm down for. I want Hades 2 to win. The next nominee is Ninja Gaiden 4. I've heard middling things about it. Now, when they're talking about primarily focused on combat, I've heard a lot of good things about the combat of Ninja Gaiden 4. We'll see. I wanted Ninja Gaiden 4 to be really good. I heard it was decent. I haven't played it, so can't really make a good opinion on it. So let's move on to the next nominee, which is Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this game. It's a 2D side-scroller / Metroidvania action game, so I guess this is like a different flavor for this type of category. I like these nominees for this category. I want Hades 2 to win. I think it's gonna win. Maybe Battlefield 6, but I don't look at that as an action game. I don't know why. Next category, moving on to best VR / AR game. I'm not into AR / VR, but these games are for the best game experience, playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. Okay. Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, and The Midnight Walk. I've never heard of any of these games other than The Midnight Walk. Looks really cool, Tim Burton-esque, claymation type of vibe. Wanted to play it, never got a chance to. I'm going to move on though, because I don't know who's going to win that. I don't know. Nor do I care. Not going to lie. The next category is also a category that I don't really give a shit about, and that is best mobile game. For the best game playable on a mobile device. Destiny Rising. We got Persona 5 The Phantom X. We got Sonic Rumble. We have Umamusumi, Pretty Derby, and Wuthering Waves. I'm going to skip this one too, just because I have no idea on whether any of those games are good or not. Nor am I ever going to find out. Let's get that out the way. I'm sorry. Best debut indie game. This category is one that I always love looking at. And these nominees are for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. We have Blueprints. We have Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. We have Despelote. And then we have Dispatch. Now, people have talked a fair bit about what makes an indie game an indie game, and people are kind of, at arms with whether Blueprints is an indie game because it has backing from Raw Fury, which is a big publisher, semi-big publisher. I don't know if it's huge, but, it's shipped games before that have... But, at the same time, I don't know the situation with who created the game instead of who's funding it. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Sandfall Interactive is a new independent studio. However, Kepler Interactive is the people behind it who are publishing the game. Like I said, I don't know whether that makes it indie or not. Despelote, it seems like this is an actual independent endeavor from Spanish speakers Julian Cordero, Sebastian Valbuena, and then we have Panic, which I think that is another publisher, so it's kind of muddling the stuff. But Dispatch, Ad Hoc Studio I think it is the sole producer, developer, publisher of Dispatch, so maybe that gets a little nod. I love all of these games. I'm not gonna lie. I loved Blueprints when it came out. Me and my girl had a lot of nice runs playing this game, telling each other what to do. Don't choose the closet. Maybe choose the closet. I'm not sure. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Never played it. That's a lie. I played an hour of it on Game Pass when that dropped there, and I played until the part where they set sail on the ship and arrive at a beachfront destination that looked all cool and purple and dungeony, but I stopped there. I'm not the biggest RPG guy. I do like active turn-based combat though, which makes zero sense why I wouldn't like this game. I feel like that's the whole conceit. That's the whole draw. Something about it though, I just didn't get into it. Despelote, never got a chance to play it. However, I was looking forward to it the moment I've seen it, first person, hand-drawn comic style illustrations with I think it's Chilean, the setting, or Ecuadorian. I mean, it is a Spanish-speaking Latin country that the story is taking place in, and it's a first-person soccer game, which seems cool. And Dispatch, that gave me Invincible vibes. I never got to play it, got a chance to play it. It did come out recently. I think the best debut indie game. I really want Blueprints to get that nod. I wouldn't be mad if Dispatch or Despelote got it, but I do think Expedition 33 is gonna run away with it, which kind of a bummer. But at the same time, heads think they deserve it, so they're gonna get it. Next category is Best Independent Game. And so these nominees are for Outstanding Creative and Technical Achievement in a Game Made Outside the Traditional Publisher System. That last little made outside the traditional publisher system. Who's to say what is the traditional publisher system? And who's to say that these games didn't go through that? That's weird. I didn't think that was going to be a part of the blurb. Anyways, the nominees are Absalom, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. Damn. Let's just get out the way. Damn. These games are crazy. I never got a chance to play Absalom. It did look really cool though. That's that 2D roguelike / brawler. That game looks sick. I really want to get my hands on that. However, I didn't, so I don't really have a great opinion on it. Ball Pit, same thing. That's a Devolver game, which I'm always intrigued about. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Never got a chance to play it though. Blueprints, like I said before, great game. Great. Shout out Blueprints. Just that puzzle roguelike. The game conceit of hey, there's freaking, I think there's 49 rooms or the 50th room that you need to get to in this mansion that your fucking grandpa left behind, but it's a roguelike, so it regenerates every time, and I don't know. Just the whole concept, the conceit, the execution. Good shit. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. without being said, that's gonna do things to people. You know, they're really adamant on supporting this game, pushing it to the forefront of the masses. Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Silksong. Damn, this is a tough one. Really tough one. I don't think Absalom's going to win it. Neither do I think Ball Pit. I really think the rest of these games do have a chance. I think Blueprints, that has the least amount of chance out of the 4, but I think a lot of people love that game. Especially people who are nominating or voting on this type of thing probably loved Blueprints. I feel like some people are going to like push that game. I hope it does. I hope it wins something, because that game was really cool. I think Expedition 33 is going to win it, though, which is fucking crazy. I think it's going to sweep everything that it is involved in. I think Hades 2 has a good chance of winning, but I think Hollow Knight Silksong has another good chance of winning. So I think those are going to like even each other out, and Expedition's just going to run away with it. I'm going to facepalm every time I see Expedition 33 win something, which is kind of fucked up, but like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of unfair, you know? With that being said, let's go to Best Community Support. These games are recognizing the outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. That was a long blurb for a weird category, I'm not gonna lie. Best Community Support. And the nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. These games are like ancient at this point. You know how the internet works in exponential time? Like, what happens yesterday is like last month for real. So I feel like these games are like centuries old at this point. Baldur's Gate 3, I think Larian Studios had something to say about their inclusion of this category. I feel like they were like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm paraphrasing here, but they were like, yo, why are you nominating us again? Like, we're just updating the game. We're giving our players what they want. However, like, show some love to like other games that do better support for the communities. I'm pretty sure Larian did that. So their inclusion of this is kind of funny. Final Fantasy 14, I'm not an MMO person. Fortnite, they're always updating that shit. That's just like unsaid shit, you know? Like, Fortnite's gonna change, they're gonna update, they're gonna add new shit, they're gonna take away shit, they're gonna bring back shit. I don't know. I feel like it's just Epic that's their moneymaker, so they're gonna push it, you know? It makes sense. Helldivers 2, I feel like they had a rocky launch, and so to have this game be nominated, I feel like is just, they didn't really know any other community that was supporting their games that way. Maybe I'm living under a rock and I'm not really privy to any changes that they've made to like alter the game. No Man's Sky, I know that game had a whole 360 just like Final Fantasy 15. I'm gonna skip this. Now that I'm like thinking about the nominees and stuff, and I'm just like talking out loud, it's like, I have no idea who's gonna win this. I think that it's funny how Baldur's Gate 3 though, Larian was like, yo, why are you including us? We came out in like 2023, I think. Like, Joe. Games for Impact. Let's move on to that. This category is for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Okay? It's kind of a weird blurb, I'm not gonna lie. A thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I mean, games for impact, like games that have messages behind them that are like heartwarming and tug at the heartstrings a little bit. Let's think about it like that, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know most of these games. I know Despelote and I know South of Midnight. Those are the only two that I know. The other 3 games are Consume Me, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, and Wanderstop. That game looks kind of cool. I'm gonna skip this one too. I feel like a phony skipping, but still, I don't really have much to say about those games. Never played any of them. I want this Despelote to win though. Let's just get that out there. Okay, next category. I swear we're almost done. We got like 20 done. I think 23 or something. Like 5 more away. Almost there. Stay with me now. We got innovation and accessibility. These nominees are recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Okay, the nominees are Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Doom the Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26, and South of Midnight. I don't know what any of these games have to do with accessibility, so I'm going to skip that. I'm going to skip that too. Big phony over here. Skipping that. I don't. All right. Okay. This category, best performance. These nominees were awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and or performance capture. The nominees are Ben Starr, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Charlie Cox, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Erika Ishii for Ghosts of Yotei. Jennifer English, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Konatsu Kato, Silent Hill F. And Troy Baker for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. 3 out of the 6 performers I just named are from Expedition 33. So that's something. I think, like I said before, I think anything that Expedition 33 is involved in, it's going to win in some fashion. I think one of these 3 are going to win. I've heard something crazy about this guy named Charlie Cox. I'm not really sure his IMDb or whatever the fuck, his history with voice acting. However, I've heard that his character in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, his performance took him like 4 hours, and it was just like another day at the office for him. It was like he hopped in the booth, he hopped out like 4 hours later and went with his day, went with his life. I don't think he's privy to the games industry. I don't think he gives a shit about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm sure he's appreciative of the, accolades and shit, but I just think it's hilarious how he spent an afternoon voicing this character that got so much praise that he is now nominated for the Game Awards with that. And he's like said, I think, I'm not really sure like the statement that he said, but he's like, yeah, I don't really give a shit. I think that's kind of impressive to like not give a fuck but still be that good to like get a nomination. I think that's cool. I think one of the 3 are gonna win. I want Troy Baker to win. I thought that his rendition of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was dope. I thought it was very one-to-one, not one-to-one entirely, but it was very faithful. Sounded like Indy. I thought Troy did a great job, so I want him to win. I don't think he's going to. Next category, best audio design. These games are the best in-game audio and sound design. The nominees are Battlefield 6, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Ghosts of Yotei, and Silent Hill F. Haven't played a single one of these, so I can't really say. I want to give the nod to Death Stranding 2 On the Beach just because Kojima and his love for soundtracks in particular, finding the best music to involve in the games. But like I said before, I think every single category that Expedition 33 is included in is going to win. I really do. And I hope it doesn't. I really do. I really hope it doesn't, but I think it's going to. All right. Next category, best score and music. This is going to be very similar to that best audio design, I think. Best score and music for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Leveled up by Spotify. Ooh, they're already including the advertisements in the nomination list. That's crazy. Hollow Knight Silksong, Christopher Larkin, Darren Korb from Hades 2. I love Supergiant Games soundtrack, so shout out Hades 2. I want that to win, but I don't think it's going to because Lorien Testard for Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is nominated. Great. We got Toma Otoa for Ghosts of Yotei and Woodkid and Ludwig Vorsell For sale for Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Damn, Expedition 33 about to go fucking like 20 for 20. I really hope it doesn't, but I really do think it's gonna happen. We'll see though. Fingers crossed tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Best art direction. This is for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. These games are being shuffled in and out of each category. I'm not really sure what to think other than Expedition 33 is going to win. Kind of bugging me out. I think the art direction for Death Stranding 2 blew me away. I think Ghost of Yotei is a beautiful game. I don't think Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is nice to look at. I'm not gonna lie. I think the UI is busy. I think it is heavy-handed. It's like thrown in your face, but also like not at the same time. I'm like squinting, but also like kind of backing up. I think Hades 2 is beautiful. Supergiant, they do amazing art. Hollow Knight Silksong is chef's kiss type shit. I don't know, man. I really think Expedition 33 is gonna win this shit too. So, fuck. I think Death Stranding 2 is gonna win this. I really think they pushed the technical achievement, and I think Hideo Kojima is gonna get the tip of the cap from Jeff. He's like, I need Hideo to win one of these categories at least for him to show off a new teaser for his upcoming game. So, I think he's going to get the art direction nod. Alright, so we're down to the last 3 categories. This category is Best Narrative. These are for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. Again, the same like 6 or 7 games. Alright, my bad. The same amount of games are being recycled in and out of these categories, and that's saying something. These games are really good, but, you know, it's kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. This is really freaking boring now that I think about it. Like, yo, Expedition 33 winning everything, I really think that's what's gonna happen. Ghost of Yotei. I've heard good-ish things about the narrative, but that's not really why you're going for that game, you know? It's like an open world Ubisoft type of checklisty game, but done right for real. The narrative was cool in Ghost of Tsushima, but it wasn't like the end all be all for me. Death Stranding 2 on the beach, that could do it, but fuck. I Silent Hill F, I've heard good things about the narrative. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 as well. I don't think Ghost of Yotei should be involved. I think those 4 have a chance. Maybe Death Stranding 2 on the beach wins, because also that's kind of why you're playing a Kojima game, is because of the wackiness of what's going to ensue with the narrative. Shit. I still think Clair Obscur is going to win that. Fuck. God damn it. Alright. Second to last category. We're almost done. Jeez, 50 minutes I've been talking. Shoot me now. Best game direction, though. These games are awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. We have Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We have Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. You know what I want to win. Shit. That Split, that Hazelight, that Joseph Fares, that visionary shit. But I wouldn't be mad if Hades 2 won that. I like Supergiant a lot. I also like Sucker Punch a lot. Ghost of Yotei. But I really do think it's either between Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions with Death Stranding 2, or Sandfall Interactive and Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm gonna give it to... Actually... shit. It's really a toss-up. Flip the coin. Death Stranding 2. I think is gonna win best game direction. Put it on the books. All right, game of the year. This is what we've all been waiting for. We are recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. It's a weird way to put it. However, the nominees are Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Great. I'm such a hater. Alright. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Hades 2. Hollow Knight Silksong. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Where's Split Fiction? Nah, I'm playing. I actually am not playing. I want Split Fiction to win Game of the Year, but this isn't 2021. I don't think. I think It Takes Two won that year. This isn't that year. This is a year full of Expedition 33s and Donkey Kong Bonanzas and Death Stranding 2s and Hades 2s and Hollow Knight Silksongs and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2s. A lot of 2s here. Man, long sigh right there. If Expedition 33 doesn't win, things are about to be bad. I'm just telling you now. Things are gonna be bad because there's a group that really glazes this game to an unhealthy degree. I think Death Stranding 2 On the Beach had its little zeitgeist era of like, yo, this game's fucking crazy. This game's awesome. I also think Donkey Kong Bonanza had a little zeitgeist moment of like, yo, this game is nuts. Like, Nintendo did it again. And then the DLC dropped and people were kind of soured on that. I think Hades 2 has been loved from the moment it got released, but it's also been in early access for a minute. And so I think that takes away from its Game of the Year appeal a bit. I think Hollow Knight Silksong has a really good chance. I thought it had like an 8-year freaking hype cycle behind it. It finally came out. It shadow dropped September 4th, I think was the date. I think that game has a really good chance. I don't think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I think that's the least likely to win this. However, I'm kind of happy that I got the nod. I'm pretty sure people love that game, so shout out. I think it's either been between Silksong or Clair Obscur, and I think Clair Obscur wins it. Yeah. I think that's yep. I think that, yeah, fuck. I think that's, I think Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is about to make this shit a very boring show. But that's only for the award type of stuff. I think those are the nominees. That's one of the 3 pillars of the show. Those are the nominees, alright? The next pillar is the ads. I think Spotify is already included in the nomination list, so I think Spotify is going to be shown off. I hope the Muppets are going to go back. Maybe that's another thing that will come back to this show. I know last year's Muppets inclusion was pretty funny. There's going to be stupid ads about like freaking Doritos or Mountain Dew. I hope they don't. I hope they don't feed into the stereotype of like fucking old fat white men living in the basement of their parents' house eating Mountain Dew and fucking, or drinking Mountain Dew, eating Doritos. I hope they don't advertise the show. I would love it for like a deodorant brand to fucking advertise, or like MeUndies, like, hey, you're fucking disgusting, go clean yourself. That's fucked up. I don't know who the fuck's gonna advertise. I'm just giving you a fair share warning. There's gonna be ads. It's gonna be a long show, and there's gonna be ads throughout every single bit of it. Maybe Gillette will come back with its razor. Shave your pubes. Number 3, though, the announcement, the reveal, the whole appeal of why this show is tantalizing, why this show is 4 hours long. What do I expect to see? I feel like everything is on the table, but I also feel like there's certain things that we're not going to be seeing that have been like process of elimination, like GTA 6. I feel like Rockstar is too big to give Jeff Keighley something like that. I feel like Rockstar could just release something anytime and it'll have the same amount of traction as it would for the Game Awards. I think Valve is also another company that has that type of draw and appeal. I think Baldur's Gate 3, not Baldur's Gate 3, Half-Life 3 has been rumored a lot recently, and I think that game, Half-Life 2, I've never played the Half-Life games. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm a fake gamer, I know, blah, blah, blah. But Half-Life 2 ends off with a cliffhanger, so I've been told. And that game released in 2006, question mark, 7? So, people have been waiting for Half-Life 3 for a minute. Probably like a decade plus now. So, and they're also coming out with new hardware in 2026. People are assuming / predicting that Half-Life 3 will just launch on the Steam machine / the Steam Index. I think their new VR headset, and they have a new controller coming out with that. Half-Life 3, I don't think will be included in this show, although it has been rumored that it would. Let me just look up leaks real quick. The Game Awards leaks. Let's see what people are talking about. I think that Kojima's gonna be there. I think that he might show off some shit with Jordan Peele. I think that game OD had like a teaser. I think it was like a 1-minute teaser this year, and yeah, that got shown off. Maybe they gets like a full reveal or gameplay shown. Maybe not. Maybe Kojima's just there to collect his residuals and move on with his life and get back to working on his games. Who knows? I think Nintendo could possibly show their cards at the Game Awards. I think they have a few games coming out next year that are planned. I know Mario Tennis Fever is coming out in February. They got Yoshi and the Mysterious Book somewhere in the springtime. And then they have Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, or whatever the fuck it's called, later that year. I know there's Tomodachi Life, Rhythm Heaven. Those are like low-key games for Nintendo. I don't think that... Shit, that would be so sick though if they like came out with like a 3D Mario or a new Zelda trailer, or shit, what if Smash gets a trailer? I know they've had a Smash trailer at the Game Awards before, showcasing Joker, I think, his inclusion on the DLC. That would be freaking huge. That would break the internet. I'm trying to think of like big games that could be shown. I'm looking at a list of games that could be shown on Reddit. We see the Mysterious Statue game. Okay. The statue, yeah. The Regal Thickness, whatever the fuck. What was it called? He said Regal Inspiring Thickness. Okay. I don't know if those adjectives have anything to do with what the game is going to be showcased about. Like, I don't think those adjectives describe the game. I think he's just trolling. Maybe this is the whole thing is a troll. I'm not sure. Although there have been rumors that Larian Studios, the people behind Baldur's Gate 3 and the Divinity Original Sin franchise, are going to show off their new game. Everybody loves Baldur's Gate 3. Everybody's behind Larian Studios. Very intrigued about what they have to offer. And Divinity Original Sin 3 could be a thing. That is their IP. That is their baby. So I feel like they're going to push that. Maybe that will be the statue game. And then we see a few more games. Exodus. I think those are the people behind BioWare who branched off to make their interpretation of Mass Effect. That could be big. I'm not really into that though. And then they say Neon Giants Project Impact. I'm not really sure what that is. Another game that they mentioned is Control Resonant. That's Control, a sequel to Control? Question mark. Maybe. I love Remedy games. They make Alan Wake 2, Control, I was about to say Alan Wake again, Quantum Break. They made the Max Payne games back in the day. And so to have a sequel to Control would be dope. Control was sick. Another thing that they mentioned was Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, a PC port. I'm not really too amped on that announcement. I don't know why they included that. Silent Hill remake. That would be dope. We're bringing back Silent Hill. We got Silent Hill F this year that got a lot of nominations. Silent Hill 2 remake last year was really successful, so go back to the OG. Only makes sense. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. I've heard that had a lot of development troubles, so if we see that and it comes back and looks good, then that would be dope. I know that game's loved by many, PS2 generation type of thing. I've never really had a fascination with the Prince of Persia franchise, though. I'm more into... I don't really know the alternative of Prince of Persia. Assassin's Creed, though, is something that was inspired by Prince of Persia, and so they have also mentioned that Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is going to be shown at the Game Awards. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake could be a thing. I don't really give a shit. Pragmata. That is the new Capcom 3D puzzle shooter action game that looks dope. They're saying release date with it. That would be cool. Another game that they're saying, Onimusha, they're saying that could get a release date, which would be dope. The Duskbloods. Project FMC / mandatory From appearance. So that whole statue thing could be a From Software announcement. That makes sense. The Duskbloods was shown off in the Switch 2 Direct last year, or was it this year? Holy shit, this was this year. That's fucking nuts. But we haven't seen anything else other than that it's coming out later next year. And so that would be cool to get more information on. Maybe they're going to announce Elden Ring 2. Maybe they're going to announce Sekiro Shadows Die thirdly. I don't know. And then Resident Evil Requiem Leon reveal. Those are the games that could be shown from this freaking Reddit thread. I'm seeing Judas showing up, Clockwork Revolution. I'm really pumped for Judas. That game looks fucking dope. But Max Payne remake, I don't know, man. We'll see. Only time will tell. Like I said, the video game awards, or not the video game, the game awards, TGAs, are right around the corner. Are you excited? Are you gonna watch it? Are you not gonna watch it? If you're not gonna watch the Game Awards and you're watching this video, I'm a little confused, but I appreciate it regardless. Yeah, that's the end of the video. If you reach this point, comment your game of the year. Comment what you wanted to win. That's been all. That's been me though. Yeah, let's redo that outro because that was awful. That's all I've got to say though. It's been an hour. It's been a pleasure talking. Yeah, I love you. Bye. Bye. Bye.